My envious dad couldn't stand the fact that I got a girl pregnant before his golden boy did, so he invited my ex-girlfriend. What she revealed made him regret everything. I never called him dad growing up, just Brian, because that's what he wanted. Brian was only 17 when he got my mom pregnant, and instead of stepping up, he made it clear that I was the mistake that ruined his perfect quarterback future. He'd remind me constantly during those awkward monthly visits that real men don't get trapped by pregnancy scares. The bare minimum child support came like clockwork, but his presence at maybe 3 birthday parties told the real story. When I turned 8, Brian married Sarah, who had a son named Nathan from her previous marriage. It was like watching someone flip a switch overnight. Suddenly, Brian transformed into father of the year, but only for this kid who shared no blood with him. Nathan got everything I had spent years hoping for: patient baseball coaching, dedicated homework help, and most importantly, a college fund. Meanwhile, I still got those same awkward monthly visits where Brian would lecture me about making better choices than he did. The irony wasn't lost on me that he was dispensing parenting advice while abandoning his actual biological child. Brian loved playing happy family with his do-over son, constantly posting Facebook pictures of Nathan's achievements while never mentioning he had another kid. I'd scroll through his feed sometimes, seeing this alternate version of the father I'd always wanted, knowing that version would never be mine. Everything changed when I turned 16 and my girlfriend Emma got pregnant. Instead of running like Brian had done, I made the decision to step up. I got a job at the local auto shop, working evenings and weekends, and started planning our future. That's when Brian lost his mind. He called me one evening, screaming about how I was repeating his mistakes and ruining my life. But here's what he couldn't understand. I wasn't ruining anything. I was taking responsibility, something he had never been capable of. Brian couldn't handle that his supposed screw-up son was becoming a better man than he had ever been. So he did something unforgivable. He reached out to Emma behind my back and invited her to Nathan's graduation party, claiming he wanted to welcome her to our family, but his real motivation was to poison her against me. Emma showed up confused about why my father, who had barely acknowledged my existence for 16 years, suddenly wanted to meet her. That's when Brian made his move. He pulled Emma aside and started telling her horror stories about teenage pregnancy, how it destroyed young lives, ruined futures, and trapped women with deadbeat fathers who would abandon them. He showed her old photographs of my mom struggling as a single parent, painting a terrifying picture of what Emma's life would become if she stayed with me. Brian thought he was saving Emma from repeating my mother's mistakes, but what he didn't know was that Emma had already made her decision weeks earlier. She wasn't planning to keep the baby, but hadn't told me yet. When Brian finished his manipulation speech, Emma looked him dead in the eye and said something that shattered his world. She told him calmly that she was already planning to terminate the pregnancy, and the only reason she hadn't told me was because she wanted to see what kind of man I would become when faced with real responsibility. She said that watching me immediately step up while my own father had spent 17 years running away told her everything she needed to know about our family's character. Brian's face went white as Emma continued. She announced to the entire graduation party that she was proud to be with someone who didn't abandon his responsibilities like certain other people at this table. Nathan's perfect graduation celebration instantly became a public humiliation as Emma detailed exactly how Brian had attempted to manipulate her and failed spectacularly. The gathered family and friends sat in stunned silence as the truth about Brian's character became undeniably clear. Brian never recovered from the devastating shame of that night, and neither did his carefully constructed image as the perfect stepfather.